Welcome back, everyone, back to the stream. Welcome back. It's Siena versus Manhattan Jaspers right next on stream. And if I'm not mistaken, we're already ready and raring to go. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us in this break. Again, we did take a little bit of time because, again, Siena and Manhattan, they were only scheduled to go at around 10:30. So we were a little bit lenient, to say the least. They were able to, get themselves, maybe a snack or two, maybe some last minute preparations. Speaking of snacks, Door, do you have any snacks on you right now?
Oh.
No,
I have
no,
snacks.
no, I wasn't.
I wasn't. I'm a little disappointed if I'm being completely honest.
No,
I didn't
no, you know what? Maybe on another day. All right. Maybe
bad hair day.
in more of a private stream we could do that.
Let's keep it to that. As the matchup coming up is Siena versus Manhattan. First up is Aiden Bivers versus Rizoluka in our first matchup of the day. This is bound to be a pretty close one, as Manhattan last week ended up playing up against St. Peter's University and losing, but taking a few matches off of them. So a pretty respectable feat there. We saw what St. Peter's can do up in that last series. Siena, though, up against them in the driver's seat, currently up 1 match win to none. And so this will be a pretty big breaking point here for Manhattan to prove that they can show up against other teams, as we are ready to get into it. The first stage will be Pokemon Stadium 2.
Yes, sir. And again, kind of looking back at Manhattan last week, Manhattan ended up losing out to St. Peter's, the team that we just saw 5-0 Niagara. And actually, wow, we're getting right into our game here. Both players already ready to go. And wow, this is a weird matchup here. Me, Sword Fighter versus Joker. Not something that I expected. Not something that I've either seen in the past. But again, interesting to try to analyze. Me, Sword Fighter, more of a impressive melee type character. Also has a plethora of projectiles depending on which ult you're gonna go for. Joker, again, we've mentioned this before, doesn't have the best moveset, mid-air. And against a player like me, Sword Fighter, it might be a little bit of frustration, but ahead on.
Now, we've seen Aiden break out the Miis before, and he runs the same thing pretty much every time, putting a lot of pressure on with the Chakram, with the Tornado. See if he can do it again. He's done a great job of it so far, spacing himself out, but he's eating a lot of big hits here from this Joker. Almost eats an F smash, barely gets away, grabs him, sends him off stage, and this could be it if the Joker can't grab here. Barely reaches the ledge, though, both at 98%, just in kill range of one another. Nobody wants to be the first one out.
Yes, sir. Again, so using at the projectiles here is the Sword Fighter, and ooh, great use of the Rebel's Guard, catching back that meter quickly. And again, like I mentioned before, Joker's meter runs out way too quickly nowadays, so a couple of hits will do it. So just having a little bit more time on it to have yet an opportunity for it as the stock is running away will guarantee you the stock win, and that's exactly what happens. The Manhattan Jaspers, they're off to a lead.
All right, now Manhattan still, though, at 159% here. Could be going down to pretty much anything from this Me Sword Fighter. Worst case scenario, though, he does get that Arsene back at all costs right now, though. Bivers is going to try to avoid that. Me Sword Fighter is spacing effectively, but the Arsene is back in the game, 179%. He's not going down anytime soon, and that's going to rack him up a lot of extra credit here.
This is rough because, again, you already saw that Aegon go by that already booted on some residual damage. But even then, of course, at such a late percent, it's expected that he's about to go down. And look at that. I don't even know the name of that move. It's like a boomerang ring. It's all that I can describe it with. But otherwise, at the moment, Siena College just keeping it tit for tat until the Arsene meter comes by, because when that is online, you're about to have a bad time.
And that's the thing, you've got to find advantages with the Chakram, with the Tornado up against the Joker before he gets Arsene, because now he's an Arsene. He's at 100%. Eats the uppy, though. Great option there coming out of Siena. Now sending it forward. The Arsene gone, that huge threat gone, and a stock gone for Bivers. Taking another one off here of Rizoluka on the Joker.
And it's still really, really close here. Again, Rizoluka still has Bivers against the ropes, 123%. But even then, Rizoluka you know, actually has an opportunity here to extend his lead. He has a little bit of rage going and even getting some sword fighter combos going. But Arsene super strong at 125 going in for an up air. That's going to end up being the kill. But even then, 174, not too much of a struggle here for Ryzaluka as the up B actually sends Arsene super far away and somehow surviving. If Arsene wasn't there, that would have been sure death there for Aiden, aka Vivers. Again, 95% using that Rebels guard. He's knocked off of the stage. He's gonna have to come back. Tornado pressuring the ring again on the ledge, pressuring him to come back. This is some great moves here from Vivers.
Yeah, and I think most notably of all those is the up B. It is done more than its fair share of damage here against the Joker. He's going to look to finish off the last stock with down throw, goes in. Not going to opt for it, though. A little bit too much of a commit. Now the Arsene is out. This is his opportunity to make his way back into the game. Ryzaluka not done yet. Can come back here. It's one of those strong Arsene charge smash attacks, and Vivers will be swinging for the fences, but instead it's the dash attack finishing him off. Ryzaluka goes down 0-1 in the series.
And Siena coming off with the W. And in last week, Siena, we saw this player, Aiden, end up taking their game. If I'm not mistaken, they got 7 stocks out of it last weekend. So, I mean, we've already seen in the past how strong Aiden can be. So to see the sword fighter go up last stock against Ryzaluka, you know, pretty impressive for Ryzaluka. He definitely put on an incredible fight. You know, even keeping it incredibly close near the end, almost a chance to make his way back with the Arsene. But, of course, Aiden, aka Vivers, closing it out in the end. This was the problem that we saw earlier. Man, what? Oh, yeah, no. At the moment, I mentioned before that, you know, whatchamacallit, that me, Sword Fighter, is going to give Joker a super tough time, not only in the air, but also in neutral. Because, you know, once Joker ends up getting those grab combos, once he ends up actually having you within hitting range, then it starts to be a problem. But otherwise, Joker is no longer a threat to characters like me, Sword Fighter, other than, of course, if he has the Arsene, then he can use the Aegon, which is the stronger, which is the stronger version of his projectile. But again, otherwise, Siena pulling up forward. If I'm not mistaken, Vivers winning out that one 1-0 so far, looking towards game 2 with optimism.
Yeah, I think he really can. That was a very close last stock there that Arsene could have ended it at any second, but now we are just getting into the pick and ban, and so Siena ended up banning Smashville as well as Town and City, so now the onus is on Manhattan to try and pick the map that'll bring them back into this series significantly closer than we've seen in the previous matches today. And we'll be going to Battlefield here for this second round of the first best of 3.
Very excited to see what's going on. Again, we do have our map, like you may have mentioned, Battlefield. For this matchup, this might actually be a little bit better for the Joker. This is going to lead to a possibility of more drag down combos, something that we just haven't seen from the Manhattan Jaspers just yet. But again, Siena College and Vivers, again, still an opportunity here to pull his team forward into a pretty commanding lead. Because again, last week, Manhattan, they were giving, you know, St. Peter's a pretty tough time, which, you know, is kind of surprising to see, especially after today's win, today's statement win. Manhattan were still able to put on 8 points against St. Peter's. So again, another matchup on the board. Currently, if I'm not mistaken, Siena is up 1-0.
And back at it with the me Sword Fighter, looking to tack on this percentage. Finds a nice little grab combo, doesn't put it into that up B yet again though. Now, just a nice little bit of neutral play here coming out from Vivers. He looks very comfortable in this matchup. Oh no.
Oh no, he's still gonna come back.
He's got Arsene. He's fine.
But oh man, that is just so much pressure. I'm loving this performance so far from Vivers, not gonna lie.
Yeah, the me Sword Fighter really coming out to show itself. It is, of course, arguably, the strongest of the 3 me characters, but he's put it to use up against this Joker.
Yeah, you could also argue that, you know, me Brawler does have a pretty good kit, but specifically, me Sword Fighter has a very cheesy sort of play style. He can go much. Oh my God!
Goodness.
The hard F smash there, and you know, simply saying that player from the Jaspers just didn't have any chance to get that one. And again, like
that was a read and a half.
Oh, absolutely hard read. And I was about to say, me Sword Fighter is, you know, in a sense, the most cheesy out of all of the three Miis. He can go deeper off stage than all of them. He has more setups than all of them. And at the moment, you know, you see still the Joker still riding the tide. Luca doing pretty good for himself. And me Sword Fighter, he actually has some, you know, pretty good results under his belt locally in Florida. You live in the same town.
Oh, it's I Theta, it's the boy.
Yes, sir. You live in the same town as the player that I was about to mention, I Theta, the best me Sword Fighter player in the world at the moment. And he's beaten the likes of Myron just this weekend, beating out the likes of 8-Bit Man. Me Sword Fighter has a lot of potential, and you see here, oh my, Bivers putting it into full extent, and look at that coverage on the ledge. Luca still super good job recovering, so making his way through under these attacks, and good coverage on the down air, trying to nail it down. Bivers still so much pressure with an up smash.
And he's starting to go for these hard reads on the shields, on the counters, on that Rebels guard, charging up those smash attacks, and dealing a lot of damage. Now I think we need to start to see Luca start to change up that playstyle just a little bit. Try and get in Bivers' face as much as he can, because he's allowing him a little bit too much time here to take the engagements himself. And there it is again. We see that down throw into up B combo, and it hits every time. It's about, I want to say 25-30% just for free. That early into a stock is really important. Now at 80% though, this Arsene will look to finish off the Sword Fighter stock. But if he misses in this little time bank that he has Arsene for, it's going to be a tough ask to try and get him to finish off this stock. 109% though, goes for it, does not
he's
get
alive!
The spike, though.
Oh my, the spike hitbox not connecting, but I want to go back to Bivers there. The hard read on the up smash again. Bivers is just going full throttle right now, and somehow Luca still being able to stay alive through all of these power hitting moves. And just as I say that, that's a little bit of a curse on my end. Bivers pulling out an extremely strong up smash, or if I'm not mistaken, up B there, and taking away that stock from Luca. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be game one going towards Siena College.
Now, game two, it will be Jason, alas, versus Jonathan or GCat here, as we just wait for picks and bans to come out. Do you have any results for us from the previous weeks that you want to break down for these players?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, Jason coming in from last week, if I'm not mistaken. See here for Siena. Jason was actually the anchor last time, and he was actually able to extend. Whoa, I didn't even realize this. Siena College and Canisius were in an incredibly contentious battle last week, going down to the wire to 16-10. The only reason why it ended up being 16-10 is because Jason ended up taking Casey down to last stock and ended up defeating Casey, you know, in a Game 3 fashion, ended up getting the W, getting 4 points for his team, and securing the W 16-0. So Jason being the anchor last week, this time being the number 2 on the board. Manhattan, though, you know, coming out here with Jonathan, aka GCat. If I'm not mistaken, this is a new player. This is a new addition to the lineup. So Manhattan playing around with Jonathan for the first time in the league.
Yeah, and as the picks and bans come out with that new player, we may get to see a new map here. His Final Destination, as well as Town and City and Pokemon Stadium 2 have been banned out. Now just waiting for Manhattan to go for the pick, and they're going to take it back to Battlefield.
Yeah, all depends on what characters we're about to see. So I'm pretty interested. Again, this is double blind for everyone. So both of the players have no clue what their opponents are going to choose. And also the other stipulation is that, you know,
double swap.
Yeah, this one. Well, yeah, no, it's already a different matchup here because again, Inkling Crom. This is one that you see, you know, in certain regions where, you know, high tier characters are more prevalent, because both of these two certainly in contention for you know, some of the best characters in this game so far. Inkling, super oppressive, multi-hit moves all over the place. One of the fastest characters in this game, has, you know, very good, if I'm not mistaken, like down throw combos and up air strings. Chrom, just a very heavy hitter the entire time, you know, forcing out with nairs, has a really good side B, is incredibly fast, actually has a, you know, a pretty linear up B, but can also be used out of shield. Overall, a pretty good kit, and if I'm not mistaken, who is this playing right now? If I'm not mistaken,
Jason versus Jonathan.
Okay, so Jonathan, he's the one pulling out the Chrom. So as I mentioned before, we already saw the Chrom being used to quite a big extent here in the league, as again, that Chrom up B can be real tricky to escape out of if you're pressuring him on ledge. And but again, the Inkling player here, we have Jason going wild at the moment, 28% only on his first stock, and he is yet to go down, as now he has his opponent down to 85. This is nuts.
Now, we saw Jason pop off, I believe in the Founders Invitational, on the Inkling. He ran an absolute storm, and there it is, the roller into side smash. And this man's Inkling is nothing to be messed around with right now. Throwing Jonathan for a ride right now. So 44%, 64% on the last stock. He's looking to make it 3. The smash tag lands. Not quite there. The splat bomb.
No!
But he's too far off stage. Won't be able to recover. That's a 3 stock for a last very impressive play coming out of him.
I don't even think it was too far. I think it was looking at the wrong way when he up-beat. I think if you, if there was some sort of replay, we could go back and you could just see that he was looking towards the right side away from stage. So that's just unfortunate, Door.
Yep, and already looking to get on to the next match. Siena starts their bans, banning Pokemon Stadium 2 as well as Town and City as GCat tries to make his way back into the game. What does he need to change here if he wants to play a little bit better into Elastic's Inkling?
Man, this is one of Chrom's, I would like to say, worst matchups, so I don't really know what to tell you other than get a counter pick, because this is most, I mean, this is just going to be a tough time. I don't even know what to tell you. Again, I was really happy with GCat's performance in neutral, you know, because of the fact that Inkling can kind of dodge everything that Chrom has. Everything in Chrom's moveset is essentially, you know, extremely maneuverable with a character like Inkling. So, a new character, at least. I don't really know what character could be pulled out, but if you're going to go for another sortie, I would like to see potentially a Roy pick, but even then, we're not going to get it. We're going to get the Chrom, and hopefully he can potentially swing for the hills a little bit more, because this one is starting to get tough.
All right, GCat, though, taking it to Lilat.
Wow.
An interesting stage, to say the least. Something that EGF cooks up every once in a while. We see people take it to as a bit of a wild card here. Not a stage that you see too often picked, but I think that might just play to GCat's advantage, because now Elas has a lot more to account for. Yeah,
no, absolutely. On this stage, you know, the ledges are a lot more open, so if anything, you know, GCat will have a little bit easier of a time getting back, but the roller into an up smash, he mashes out, so that up smash isn't exactly going to do as much damage as he wanted to, but that was still nuts. But yes, Chrom's uppy is going to be able to essentially grab his targets on ledge a lot easier. But again, Chrom has such a hard time landing, and against Inkling, who has such, you know, has one of the best, you know, aerial oppressions in this game, you're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, and he's starting to build up that percentage. It's a bit higher than it was in the last game. Getting him all the way up to 76% is no small feat against a player like Elas. And so trying to avoid that splat bomb will be key. Getting that paint off of you, charges, but not, you can't run away from the roller!
Oh, man.
No, almost gets punished for it super hard, now at 110%. He could be in the smash attack here. That could be the end of it.
Oh, no.
Smash attack lands, but it doesn't kill at 150.
Yeah, no, great mash. Yeah, no, beautiful mash there coming out from GCat, but, you know, even then, up B on Inkling is just it's just so strong. No matter what percent that you get hit at, you're gonna get either stringed or you're gonna get slaughtered. So again, last stock here for GCat. He's trying to prevent the 6-0.
He is, and he certainly can at 105%. One solid smash attack could end this Inkling's life. The children are not particularly heavy in Super Smash Bros, and so they could go flying pretty readily here. He's searching for it, though. You just know what he's looking for. The side smash, he's waiting for a last to space himself out a bit improperly, but he can't get the space to charge it up.
Right, side B coming in though, but oh no. Oh, he even tried to go for the jab lock. That was nuts. But even then, GCat still able to survive somehow. His match was pretty good, but even then, the up smash ended up hitting the midway, and that's just going to be it. A 6-stock domination here for Siena College as Jason, aka the last, gets himself and his team 13 points on the board. Again, GCat, Ryzaluka, they were pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. For the fact that, you know, the games were kind of dominant, GCat was still able to at least control the offstage, and his stage pick was also pretty prominent, to say the least. It's just that he wasn't able to get in the right positions. His movement wasn't exactly too on point the entire time, and of course that matchup is just going to be rough for really anyone. So I mean, what's the word? Commiserations to Jonathan for trying out the character or for trying out the matchup, but for now that's going to be a 13-0 lead for Siena College.
And coming up next will be Benny versus Crimson. Benny representing Siena College and Crimson representing Manhattan. And so moving into the bans are coming out quickly. Battlefield, first one knocked out. Manhattan now does have the onus of just banning out 2 more stages. It'll be Town and City as well as Final Destination. The pick will come out from Siena, and so I think we'll get into this one very quickly. I'm not sure quite what these players are going to be running, but we're at that third match break point where if Siena managed to pick this one up, they could be looking to seal it out if it goes well for them.
Yes, sir. And if I'm not mistaken, excuse me, Siena running a new player this week. So another new player to our lineup. It's going to be Benny stepping up to the plate, and Manhattan running Sean for the first time also. So 2 new players to the league within the second week. This one is going to be entertaining, to say the very least, because we're already getting right into it. It's going to be Yoshi versus Roy.
Benny on the Yoshi and Crimson on the Roy. You said you want to see it in the last matchup. Well, it's a little late, but it's here regardless. We're going to get into this one very quickly. Yoshi shoving the nose in his face, running him down, applying a lot of pressure here on to
Oh,
Crimson.
Wow, that was super impressive, getting those lineups. And what? Using a fair and neutral and it working? Dang, this is really impressive so far. And again, he does it again. Historically, this matchup is kind of rough, Door.
Yeah, that sword can zone out the Yoshi pretty hard, but doing a great job of closing the gap is Benny. Ends it, makes it 1 stock to 0, only at 50% himself. Crimson's got a way to make his way back into this, but he is totally capable of doing it with the sword, with the Roy. He's just got to build up a little bit more percent before he's in kill range.
Absolutely, and again, I'm kind of looking at this from a historical standpoint. So locally here in Florida, we have seen a Yoshi player known as Zeke TRP or Zeke Trip play this map. Wow, okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, you hate to see it. The counter and then the up B not connecting either. And somehow the Yoshi's still surviving. That's really, really good so far. And Benny, certainly his debut has been impressive, to say the very least.
Yeah, I really got to hand this one over to Benny. Crimson is playing the neutral okay. He's just getting caught out by some of these really unorthodox options that Benny's going with. Finally, we see one that's pretty standard for Yoshi. That down air is very potent and dishes out a lot of damage. Doing a great job of shooting, though, is Crimson. Buys himself space.
Wow.
Lands the attack. Not going to knock him out, though. 140% on the Yoshi. He's looking to take 1 stock. Shield out from Yoshi.
Wow, the patience.
Roy has to find a way back into this, so he's in such a weird state.
Oh my god, and jab into back air is not going to work at this percent either. That's exactly what Sean was looking for there. And Benny, are you seeing these hard reads that he was just going for?
He's been going for him all game.
It's kind of nuts, and somehow it's working. Down B was about to connect. Crimson wishing his lucky stars, or thanking his lucky stars there, that actually connected. But here comes Crimson getting a lot of damage in, even going for a nair, but the Yoshi wasn't standing. Now he's gonna get back thrown. Now here comes, oh no,
my goodness,
disrespect.
The absolute disrespect coming out from Benny. Goes deep, eats him up and spits him out. The egg taking Crimson out, but not before he is able to take a stock off of Benny.
Man, that was that was just really impressive. I don't know what to tell you, because man, I was about to say this matchup historically is not that great for Roy. The best Roy main in the world. His name is Goblin. He comes from Florida. He is top 40 in the world at the moment. He lost out to a local Florida player known as Zeke TRP multiple times. Why? Because Yoshi is one of Roy's worst matchups at the moment. The multi-hit moves, the oppression off stage, Roy not having many options in terms of aerial quote-unquote swatting. The fact that Yoshi is so heavy. Do you remember that counter, that coast-to-coast counter that just didn't kill? That should have killed against any of the character. That should have killed. But that tiny little dinosaur has a little bit of heft to him.
Turns out that little ball of yarn has some pretty decent heft, and now it's going to be Yoshi versus Mario. Swapping off the Roy will be Crimson.
All right, so this is actually a matchup that I haven't seen recently. Thinking about it, both of these characters have pretty similar, I guess you could say pretty similar kits. They both have projectiles that have more or less the same properties. Talking about the egg and talking about the flame ball. But also, again, both of these characters having very low frame data. So this is going to be tough for both of them.
Yeah, very quick attacks coming out from both, but it is Benny taking the lead again, but a bit closer this time as Crimson on the Mario looks a little bit more confident. Almost gets the spike at the platform, saves his life, but he's eating eggs now for breakfast. Looking to shove him in the face, though, is Benny. Instead, he'll get the nose, setting him off. It's 1 stock to 0 at 35%. Benny makes a statement at the beginning of this game.
You know, absolutely. Benny, again, using those high damage moves, and certainly just taking advantage of the Mario. But here comes the up air strings. This is what you like to see. Down throw into these up airs, but again, could not connect as Yoshi. That's another thing that we just have not seen today from the Yoshis. That is one of its most important proponents. He has armor on a double jump. Isn't that nuts? He can get out of almost every string just by pressing the jump button.
Yeah, and it's something that Benny has taken full advantage of, not letting these up air chains connect and not letting the Mario really start up any of those combos, because a lot of them do just start with that up air. Now, trying to space him out, though, Crimson has to start layering on the damage. 95%, 105% now onto the Yoshi. He could look to end the stock with the head, searching for the forward smash, not going to land. And Benny is just dishing out these down airs right now, and running into him is Crimson. He's got to find a way around it.
I mean, these down airs are essentially free damage, you know what I mean? Because it's, you know, it's so wide, and it gets the Mario, he can't exactly do anything. Even if he tries to go for an up smash, it's either going to clank, or even the down air is going to beat it out. So at this point, you know, we have the Mario player here, Crimson, against the ropes. And again, he still has a hope. Still getting on some of these moves, still oppressing. Oh my god, he's not gonna get the disrespect coming in from Benny. Still off stage, gonna make it back. Gonna be pressured. Ooh, nice. Into shield, great back air. Oh my god, the flood being used, and Benny just gets launched. 174. Somehow Crimson is still alive. Down air, not killing. Back throw, not killing either. Oh my god, what? Up smash and down B trading, and somehow Crimson is the one that only dies. This is amazing.
How is Benny alive right now?
How was either one of those two alive for so long? This is super impressive. Finally a back air. Crimson going huge.
All right, now 0 stock. It's 0%. It's last stock here for Crimson. Last chance to make his mark up against Benny. Benny seeming to control this matchup right now. The up B misses, and he's gone. Crimson takes a 2-stock loss to Benny. A valiant effort, but that long second stock was a rough one for him.
Absolutely, and you know, you can't blame Crimson there. His situation there was going to lead directly into a down air. So if he didn't uppy there, he would have just been deleted no matter what. So that uppy was really just desperation to either get to the top platform or to either get back to or to drift over the ledge. So really no opportunity for Crimson for Crimson there to try to recover. But still, valiant effort no matter what. He pulled out some insane combos. His Mario looking kind of nice. And again, still another game ahead, as if I'm not mistaken, we still have 2 more games left in our schedule.
And Siena will get the first map pick as they win the coin flip. And so going out, the first ban is in their favor. They're going to ban Battlefield out, trying to take it somewhere a little bit more flat.
That might be the right move, to say the least. I mean, don't really know who they have coming up, but we've been seeing an overabundance of triplats today. So to maybe to see maybe an FD or maybe even Kalos would be a little bit refreshing for us.
I would not mind that. And his town and city as well, Smashville, get banned out unless we go somewhere like a oh no, we can't even pick Lilat in the first round. So I think we might just be seeing somewhere a little bit more flat. Nope, it's Pokemon Stadium too.
Of course.
Of course.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so the next 2 players up will be Knight, showing up for Siena, as well as Hammer playing on the side of Manhattan, looking to put some points on the board for them. They are in a position, though, 19 points to 0, where they cannot come back. So they're playing for points, for later positioning. They're playing for wins, for morale going into it. Manhattan has a little bit to learn from this, but I think they can pull away a couple victories before then.
I think so too. There's still a chance for them to at least get themselves a couple of points on the board. But we see here a tough matchup for Manhattan again. Don't really know what it is with Manhattan's luck today, but most of their matchups have been losing ones. Shulk versus Terry Bogard. This is just so tough. Terry Bogard can't exactly do anything against, you know, the huge Buster Sword of Shulk.
Mind, one question.
What's up?
Are you okay?
I'm not okay. I'm currently not okay.
Doesn't look too okay themselves, but they're going to play the Terry and ask the question anyways. Nice Flaming Knuckle going to be sent the way of Knight now. Knight, of course, still on the red side, playing for Siena. This Shulk has some work to do, though. He's already got 70% on himself. The Terry looking good here out of Martin.
Yeah, absolutely, and I like how you asked me if I was okay. If anyone, I mean, if you need to ask anyone if they're okay right now, it has to be the Uno reverse card and say, you know what, Terry, are you okay? Because look, you see, at one point this Terry Bogard go off stage, that's going to be it, but oh my god. Yeah, this one's starting to get rough. Terry Bogard and his high damage output is starting to catch up to him. Weak hit of the fair, but yep, that's the Smash Monado for you. That's gonna kill you almost instantly at almost any percent. But the jab power dunk does it right before, by the way, the shield Monado was about to come in. Great timing on the power dunk.
It was a beautiful animation cancel coming out from Hammer. Something built into Terry's kit intentionally, and something being taken full advantage of right now. Great in the 1v1, 67% of extra credit already landed here onto Knight. He could be picking up the first win of the night for Manhattan. Now trying to load on more, but he's got to get past that sword first.
Still being pressured. Oh wow, just a raw power dunk, and it powers through. Hammer. Still pressuring projectiles, just getting yet another raw power dunk, just letting it happen. And now Nick, getting his shield pressured, and again the rally coming in. Side D being used. Power dunk again. Oh no, but here comes the Smash Monado. This is so tough, especially on ledge. No, get away from there, buddy. You're gonna die. Oh no. The fair almost hitting him there, but somehow Hammer still alive. But oh no, he's just dead. That's the power of Shulk, the Gimp power.
I mean, that speed comes out of absolutely nowhere here. Knight showing off what his character is capable of, but turning it right back around. Hammer, the power dunks have worked, and he's going to continue. Oh, but now he's going for another one. The speed comes out, but he slows down just a little bit. Will eat a power dunk for it. And I've got to say, Hammer has impressed me with how quickly he's pulling out these inputs on Terry.
Yeah, it really is impressive, and that's kind of the power of Shotos in this game. If you are a fighting game specialist, if you are a very input-heavy player, just playing any of these Shoto characters is definitely going to fit you a lot more. And recently, all of them have been getting, buffed little by little. Terry Bogard off the, out of the gate, already one of the better characters in this game. Somehow the DI coming in there. Side B gonna come in. Up B gonna be able to, gonna help him come back. Power geyser. This is the first time that we've seen this Terry Bogard with the go. He's still alive off of the F smash. 128. Oh no, now he's dead.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That was so close.
He went for the geyser. He went for the Buster Wolf, but he just was not able to find what he was looking for. Knight read him perfectly in a great second and third stock there coming out from the Siena player.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I was gonna say now is a great time to play Shotos because again they're just getting stronger and stronger. Ken has now surged himself to be a top 20 character in this game. Off the bat, we saw Terry Bogard be extremely strong. And you guys are seeing, some of that here against, again, like I said, a losing matchup in this one. So, I'm kind of excited to see, what this Terry Bogard can pull off from here on out. Because, again, it certainly is a tall task to take on. But for how close that was, I believe in Hammer from here on out.
Yeah, I think he totally has the tools to do it. Knight just kind of got the read on him there towards the end, started getting a little bit predictable, but Hammer has looked so solid with his out-of-shield options especially. Of course, the power dunk is a very, very potent move that will catch you if you are anywhere near it, but he missed a few of those burning knuckles that I think he may have just overcommitted on, and that's where he was getting punished. And it looks like we will be going to Kalos Stadium for the next map. It was, of course, Hammer's pick. Knight did end up banning out Final Destination and Lilac Cruise. Now going to the one map pick that was here for Manhattan. And we'll be seeing a same exact matchup. It is Hammer back on the Terry Bogard and Knight back again on the Shulk. We'll have to see if the Monado Master can do it yet again.
Yeah, no, I'm confident because again, even with how close that was, Nick, aka Knight, was still able to get quite a few moves in, even though he was actually misinputting a little bit in the last one, and quote unquote those swinging for the hills type moments. He was actually missing out on a lot of great opportunities to end some stocks early, and that allowed Hammer to get back into this one. Like you see right there, instead of going for 2 frames, he's going for some dry fairs at the moment, something that Knight can certainly work on. But even then, because of the fact that Shulk essentially is a very wide swinging character that can essentially cover almost every angle of his, he's just going to have to abuse that to get his way in, and that's exactly what happens. Oh my! Hammer just tries to go above him, and Knight going nuts now with a combo.
And so the real difficulty here for Terry is in that off stage. It's so hard to get back against the Shulk. Even if you do your trading, you eat another sword, and he's taking you back off stage. He's got to make the most of this neutral game when the stage is his, or else he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. Now already at 73% on his second stock, he's barely managed to get 90% back onto the Shulk. He's got to figure something out, change up his playstyle just a little bit if he wants to way back into it. Switches to Smash Monado though. You know that Knight's looking to finish his stock off. It's the up B out of shield. Not quite enough. Now, it'll be the neutral air. He might not make his way backstage. In fact, I'm almost certain that's going to be it here for the second stock of Terry Bogard. 106% though, still on tonight.
Man, that was so close. And somehow, You even saw Hammer. He had a chance to come back there, and Knight, no mercy whatsoever, still came off the ledge to try to get that second hit, and he ended up getting a trade off of it. Hammer now has to make a 3-stock comeback.
Yep, and almost done with his first stock here. Knight is barely holding on, eats the burning knuckle, but not gonna be taking him out. Not enough for the coast to coast. Gets Uppy back to ledge, tries to get him out of the neutral, get him dodged off stage, and I think that might, no, he still reaches 152. This Shulk is living far longer than he has any right to. Jab block though, into the Uppy. It's still not enough to shield Monado, save him. Swaps back to the shield, and he's looking for the Gimp again. He's looking to take him off stage and end this one quickly. Chasing him down, Knight though, eats the burning knuckle. That'll finally end his first stock.
Finally, there's a lot of extension from Hammer there. Lots of extra credit in a sense. Again, still 32%. Knight still pressuring Hammer. Trying to make his way back, and he's actually pulling a couple of good moves here. Some couple, trusted Terry Bogard combos, but pressuring with a power dunk. Not exactly what he wanted to do here. And again, this is where, oh my! This is where Terry Bogard could start to get scary, I was about to say. And that power geyser, taking full advantage of it. That's the first time that we saw a go move connect.
Yeah, and that's a lot of damage, but it's not enough to take over. It's the up air that's going to end it here from the Shulk. We're on to our final matchup of the night. It's Pango versus Sam Sam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And again, just kind of going back to that last game, Nick versus Martin. You gotta give, you gotta commend Martin there for staying to that matchup, and not only staying to the matchup, but also doing way better than I thought any Shoto player would against the Shulk. I think just sword players in general were going to be a lot better against Shotos, and again, seeing the Terry Bogard actually be able to hold down a pretty decent neutral against, kind of just the wide swinging moves the entire time, because that's really all that we were seeing. We were just Nick swinging, and somehow Martin in the end was able to get some pretty good movement in, get some really sneaky combos, and still keep it close. Again, Siena is still off to an incredible lead. Of course, going to be confirming themselves this W. As again, like you mentioned, going into our last game, Pango versus Sam Sam.
It's the last one of the night, but you know what? I bet it's going to be just as exciting as the rest. A lot of these teams like to line up their star players right at the end, and I think Sam Sam might have something in his back pocket for us. As we just get into pick bands here, we're seeing the coin flip come through.
So we are just waiting for picks and bands. But yeah, Dor, as we come into our last game today, what are your thoughts on this entire day? Anyone that really struck out to you, other than, of course, the JV4 that we saw earlier today?
I mean, is there anything to mention but that incredible showing from Ricardo? But I think a lot of players, a lot of teams really showed up. I think Jack was a standout one for Marist. Put up a solid fight up against Canisius. He didn't end up winning the best of 3, but I think considering who he was playing up against, it is no small feat, and showing up for Marist in a time like that when you really need the stocks, when you need the points on the board, is pretty important. As well as Zucchini taking the win over Epic Robin. I think big stuff there for Marist. Canisius and St. Peter's, of course, did come off their 2 wins prior, and I think both of their entire rosters were just completely star-studded. Ricardo, Zero Ace, and Jazzy G looked unstoppable on the day, and now getting into the final matchup, I think Bivers may have actually impressed me the most of the Siena roster so far.
Really? Not
very controlling in the matchup.
Okay, in comparison to his teammates in a sense?
Yeah, I think so. I know we saw the double 3-stock come out from Alas, but I think it may have been a bit of a matchup issue there for GCAT.
Right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think Bivers was a little bit more even with Ryza Luca, and even then he was able to be, pretty dominant. So, you know what? I got to agree with you on that one. But kind of looking back on our day-to-day, we kind of have a glimpse of what potentially playoffs could look like. We have a dominating one from Canisius, a dominating one from St. Peter's, and now almost confirmed a dominating win from Siena. The only teams that we just simply haven't seen perform just yet in this tournament is RIT and Quinnipiac, which we should be watching starting next week. But I think we might be seeing 3 solid contenders for playoffs at the end of the season.
All right, and forget the end of the season. It's right now. It's the last matchup of the night. It is Mike Pango playing for Siena versus Sam from Manhattan. And it will be Pango on the Wolf and Sam on the Nest, playing a little bit funky in the neutral here. Just saying, you know what? Come at me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the first time that we're seeing Wolf on stream today. And again, Wolf, pretty interesting in this matchup. I would like to say that this is pretty even purely because of, you know, Wolf being a little bit of a slugger, but also, you know, having really good high movement. It's going to be a little bit rough for both characters, though, as, like I said, this was a little bit rough, so it's going to come down to pure skill.
And pretty even right now. Sam looking like he's about to put up a pretty solid fight here for Manhattan. Of course, not the same players we've been seeing before, so there's always upset potential when it comes to these matchups. Sam, though, showing him the back air, and he's doing a decent job of spacing out the Wolf. He just has to land more hits in the neutral. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Again, are you kidding me? Another Nest SD.
How many have we seen tonight? It's so unfortunate. Sam just,
it's rough. Really yeah, no, absolutely.
He buffers the dodge and just sends him off stage.
Right. Actually, you know, a little bit of a tidbit about both of these players. Both players ended up losing their games, you know, in a 0-game fashion last week. So in 2-0 fashion, they both ended up losing. So at this point, both players would be looking for kind of a fresh start to the season. Wow!
Oh, he gets the 2-frame!
Great job, and that, I mean, just the patience on it to wait for the up B to come in. Great work from Mike there.
Yeah, good stuff, and making the stock lead 2-1. It was almost even up by Sam, but something like that will put that to an end very quickly. Sam, though, starting to rack up the damage onto the second stock. He could send it down to 1 stock territory. A nice parry, though, will be punished by the grab. Misses the dash attack. Now Sam it is on the attack, does have the up air, and so now Pango does need to try to land. He finally will, though, the grab into dash attack, into back air, could send this dash.
What?
Stop, and he gets it! Oh no! It's reversed by Sam!
Oh! Okay, so the side B ended up, like, suiciding off stage, but I thought the side B was about to be insane and ended up hitting his opponent. Sam almost died there, but somehow he's still alive. Down smash, not 2, framing up. Oh, wow. Up smashing, scooping, and not killing. Currently on 138. Here comes the combo leading into a nair. Oh, no. It might be happening. A comeback here for Sam might be on deck.
He has the platform to land on. It buys him a little bit of safety. Now staring down.
No way!
Tries to grab the back throw. This could be it. Oh no, he searches for the up air. Not quite going to be had. Pressuring him down though. Pango looking to end this stock, but he doesn't want to get too close. He knows he's playing with death right now. 162% on the nest. He's stuck off stage. This could be it. Nice forward air. Back on the stage. 170 to 103%. But it's a dash attack. That ends in his Pango taking game 1.
Finally, oh my god, Pango, he was in the lead the entire time there, and oh man, lastly, I think that might be rule 1 of playing against Nest players. Don't approach them on edge platforms. So when you're playing on Kalos, whether you're playing on Town and City, whether you're playing, if I'm not mistaken, also Battlefield would count, Kalos would count, do not approach them on those edge platforms. They will back throw you no matter what. That is just so scary. I can't believe he even survived there.
Yeah, a little bit of rough DI, and that is your 3rd stock gone. And now getting into it, we will see the bands come out from Siena. It's going to be Lilat and Yoshi's Brawl gone. Final destination will possibly be the final map we get to see today. Pango looking to end it in 2, but Sam searching for the win. Manhattan's been looking for all night. Will he be able to do it? He seems like he's just about the closest, and we will get right into it here as the players are picking their characters. You see a character swap coming out for either player, though.
I don't think so. It was pretty even, if I do say so myself, and you know, purely because of the fact that I don't know.
I think they heard you.
Wow.
I think they heard you. They just want to prove you wrong because it will be a swap coming out from Pango, swapping over to the Pokemon Trainer.
Pango switching.
Matchup here. Yeah, Pango, not the losing player, swapping, opting to maybe just try to throw a wrench in the plans of Sam, not comfortable with how the Wolf performed. Instead, going on to the Pokemon Trainer, and now he is forward air food for this Ness right now.
I don't know about this pick. Again, Ness has more or less the same odds of winning as he did against the Wolf, but man, a lot more tools to say the least. I mean, physically, you have more tools with a Pokemon Trainer, as now you have 3 characters to work with. But I think this might be the wrong move here, as he's still on the Squirtle, finally switching over to the Ivysaur, but super late percent. Now is probably Sam's best opportunity to take a solid lead.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in the second and third stocks there. Sam really start to turn on, and that's something I'd be super afraid of if I was Pango, is him getting better. But instead, it's going to be Pango comboing up and sending him off with the Vine Whip. Oh, wait!
Whoa,
Sam?
Okay.
Pango? You feel like getting up off the ledge?
Alright.
Oh my goodness, and he's punished for it like nothing else. Sending us to our second stock. It's dead even here in game 2.
Alright. I mean, Sam certainly had a huge opportunity to come forward, and just Pokemon Trainer things, ended up getting, those big beefy hits. And even then, we still see Sam still keeping up the pace, keeping it even, pressuring Shield at this point too. He's starting to lose out in terms of deficit, 90% now, and he's even getting pelted by projectiles.
Just about double percent here on the second stock, and Sam has to close that gap, stop eating those Razor Leafs, but now on the Charizard, this is a dangerous place for Sam to be. The Flare Blitz, the up smash, anything could do it here. He has to space perfectly or else he will be punished. Nice neutral air coming out of Pango, looking to end it.
Wow.
It's the down tilt on the ledge, 84%, second stock. Sam has to find his way back into this game or else he's in deep trouble.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm also... Wow!
Oh my god!
Well,
he goes for it.
Well,
Pango searches for
why not?
Flare Blitz off stage, doesn't connect, sends him off instead. Now even on the last stock, he goes for the style points, but it could be punched here. Sam has a chance at it.
Yes, they're still pressuring Shield here. Sam trying to stay alive somehow. He's just trying to land. He's just a boy. He's just a little boy. He's just trying to get on stage. That's all. Oh no, and an F smash. Squirtle attacking. Just 3 straight F tilts, and he's just bobbing up and down. Oh no. Just using the water gun over and over again. What was that? The water gun.
That's a Pango. What an incredible game.
I guess so. The water gun just hitting over and over and over again. And ladies and gentlemen, a dominant performance in the second game with the Pokemon Trainer is just going to be it for our day. Wow. That was stellar.
That was, and what a day. Siena, St. Peter's, and Canisius coming away with some very, very large wins. Canisius, the only team not to sweep tonight. And so I think we can start to identify some of the really big threats here.
No, absolutely. Like I mentioned before, these are all going to be teams that are, just playoff contenders at this point. Yeah, I don't know at this point because first of all, it seems like there's a little bit of a curse of the right side. Every team that has gone on the right side, they were pretty much swept all day. So that's one thing. That's a little thing to just pay attention to. Second of all, you're absolutely right. These are going to be teams that I seriously want to see play against each other because, to see these powerhouses go up against, these teams that, maybe aren't exactly as developed, because we saw so many player substitutions from last week, or so many teams that didn't even get a chance to play last week, didn't even get a chance to kind of prove themselves in this league so far. For some of these players, this is their first game of the league. So to come out here, they at least get themselves a little bit of a dry run. So now they know exactly what to expect in the next up and coming weeks. Because, ladies and gentlemen, EGFC is just getting spicier and spicier. And we even have 2 teams who we haven't even watched play yet. So hopefully we can catch some of that action next week.
Yeah, I think that's all we have for tonight, though. You want to go ahead and thank our sponsor real quick, Upmine?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Thank you to our sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club and the Yukon School of Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for yet another EGFC Super Smash Brothers broadcast. We'll be back tomorrow with EGF High School action and EGFC action, both in Rocket League servers. So come join the stream again tomorrow. It's going to start at around 3 p.m. EST, and of course, the late stream is going to start at around 6. My name is Upmind. You can catch me on Twitter over at Upmind_.
And I've been Door. You can catch me at Door_cast on Twitter. But thank you again for everybody coming out tonight. Go ahead and shoot the stream and follow. Everything helps. And we will see you tomorrow.
See you guys.